So this is actually a reshoot of the step stool glue up process. The problem is I lost the footage for the entire process of what I did for the step stool. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cover some highlights of what I actually did do and start showing you, things that were done right and maybe a few mistakes here and there. So with that said, let's get to it. So when it came to the process of gluing this project, what we did was we pre-finished all the parts and components beforehand. So I got all the pencil marks off, all the glue stains off, and when we went to start gluing, what I did was I had both my side pieces set up on either side like this, and my step piece in an easy access spot. Then I spread the glue going the length of the dado as far as the step would go. So I only spread glue all the way out to the end of the step, and then I made sure I took the excess glue and I spread it on either sides of the shoulders. Then I put that step piece in, and then I did the same process here. I spread glue down the center of the dado, making sure that I got the shoulders of the dado equally spread. Again, when I'm spreading glue, I should still be able to see the grain underneath, but it should be blurry, kind of like a yellowish tinge to it, because I'm using water-based glue or just standard tile bond. All right. Once those two sides were glued, I put my two sides together, and I clamped it this way because I'm by myself. So I slid my clamping block in on both sides, so both top and bottom, and then slid my clamp over top and clamped it together. All right. So I'm actually going to steal the clamps from this. And then put it together. So one thing I want to do with this pipe clamp is I want to make sure it's going across the shelf or in line with the shelf itself. If I go below, it'll pinch the project out. If I go above, it'll pinch the project in, which we don't want. So again, I'm going directly in line with the dado. Second part, I want the step flush to the front, which means is I have perfect contact with the front of my step stool side with the shelf. So again, I don't have to sand away material and it looks nice, right? Once this is all lined up, so let me just slide this up. Clamp it in. All right. I would flip it to the back side and then spread glue on the rabbet here about the width of the rear support. So let me just flip the other project over just to show what I'm talking about. So then I would spread glue in the rabbet, starting with the bottom piece and the top piece. All right, now there were 4 of these rear supports. I only have 3. What we would do actually is we just glue the top and bottom here, let the entire case cure, glue and screw the top on, and then attach this piece here and an additional rear support inside the case to give it extra support. In this case, because my shelf is larger, I have more structure rigidity, so basically strength, with this shelf being bigger. The only downside is I only have access to this pocket hole here with a straight bit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use an angle driver to secure these additional 3 screws to pull my top together. All right, that's the other reason why we don't put this support in and the other is that you'll actually block access to the back pocket holes in your project, right? So again, once this is all glued together, and it's waited 24 hours, well, glue, depending on the temperature and the manufacturer, can be work ready, or you can work with it within 2 hours for most stuff. But it's just good practice to leave your stuff in the clamps for a full 24 hours so that when it comes out of the clamps, it's in the same shape as when you put it in the clamps. Removing clamps early or trying to speed up the process is not a good idea, because you will actually cause the furniture to actually separate. Right? Because again, because it's water-based, without support, the wood will swell and it will actually start to pull apart. So again, you must need to keep your clamps in for the full either set time, which is basically how long it takes to stick, or the full cure time, which means basically the glue is completely, unequivocally dry. Right? So that is the gluing process in a nutshell. Now, when you have glue squeeze out, just like we talked about last time, if you notice it before the end of the period, you can come back with a scraper and remove it from the workpiece. Now, if it happens afterwards, or if you don't notice it, what we can do is we can take a razor blade and just cut it away from the project. So right here, so I'm going to zoom in actually on this one. It's hard to see, but there is a little yellow glue stripe. Now, you might not see it now, but when I go to put finish on it, it will show up really bright. Because again, since the glue is water-based and I'm using water-based finish, it'll repel the finish and it won't stick. So I need to remove all remnants of glue from the project so I get good adhesion or good connection of my finish to the wood. And thus will create a more durable and sturdy project. All right, so again, I'm just gently cutting down the grain, making sure I don't gouge my project. And I'm removing all remnants of glue squeeze out from the project. Covers the glue up of the step stool. We have our structure all together now. We have our step, we have our rear supports. The next step would be attaching our top, sanding back any glue stains we see, and then we'll start construction on the drawer. So that's the step stool glue up in a nutshell. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.